What's up, Lucky Gamers? Today we're going to be talking about the 1.4 update that just came to CN. This is going to be a huge update. We're going to watch the trailer for it, but there's some really great stuff in this update that also pertains to those of you who are in global. It can help out your accounts, and there's a huge quality of life change. We're going to watch this video. This is a really great video for it. I love the music. I love the two new characters they're bringing. And then we'll talk about the patch notes, a summary of the patch notes and everything, because I know it's in other videos and see it. Let's go ahead and start this.
Your watch was telling the wrong time.
Pardon me?
I fixed it for you.
2007?
Yeah. This is the year 2007. Is it not?
We believe everything can be translated into numbers. Things are made up of numbers. And mathematics is the key to opening the gate of truth. How is this possible? You use a maths model to forecast the storm, and its results perfectly match what the Foundation recorded.
We just worked out the patterns in the number sequences.
Bro, the music is so good.
Close your eyes, Vertin. Truth reveal itself to you.
Truth.
Waifu.
Timekeeper, watch out!
Who broke the silence?
Sanetta is in detention. They're planning to sentence her to death.
Those of you who agree to the death sentence may remain seated. Who wish to commute Miss Sanetto's punishment, put your pebble into the pot in the middle of the hole.
The pure blood Arcanist community. The unknown Arcanum power. And the obsession with certain knowledge or identity. Sound familiar?
Lila. Lilia.
I take not thought for needless disputes.
The proof, once found, is irrevocable. People all over the world have adopted the decimal system by coincidence. See? This is why.
Her ability looks really good.
The wise ones on this island used to strike the iron ingots. After years of careful arrangements and calculations, the clanging sound became music.
Costumes. The drip. Batista. 20 summons. 5-star selector. All right. So that is the 1.4 PV. Hopefully you guys liked it. I liked a lot of the stuff that was in it. So let's go ahead and talk about what all happened in there. So you saw there's 2 new characters, 37 and 6. We'll talk about them and kind of what their kids have going on. But what you guys more importantly want to know is the free rewards. So what was going on there? So as you log in, you're getting 20 summons over the course of some days. So it's in the CN version. It's right here. Yeah. So as you log in, we're getting literally a summon each day. It seems like it's going to be 2 different parts to it. But yeah, so we're getting summons every day. Also, there is a 5-star selector. 5-star selector is huge. It's everybody from 1.0 and 1.1. Honestly, it includes quite a bit of characters, 12 different characters, and I will do a video talking about these 5 stars in the 5-star selector, who like the top ones that you really want. Now this is it. This is going to be 1.4, so this can either help some of you guys get copies for characters, or help you get a character that you were unable to get, right? So just have this in the back of your mind if you're a global player, that you will be getting a 5-star selector in 1.4, right? So, and then this banner isn't here in the game yet, but it's basically a 6-star banner that is going to have 4 characters on it: Anon Lee, Voyager, A Knight, and her name escapes me. This girl here, Melania. There we go. And basically, you're gonna get a free summon for a total of 7 days on this banner. And yes, there are 4 rated up 6 stars, but you know, 2 of them are really, really good 6 stars. So I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna be summoning on this banner, except for just the free pools, right? All right, and so the new modes. You saw that they had a mode with Charlie and Oliver Fog. This is called Anecdote, and it's going to be story mode dedicated to them. They're the first ones to be added, so that's going to be really cool. Get to focus on those 2 characters. Could be some free rewards. The second game mode was like an exploration mode where you saw we were controlling Burton. It's just going to be like some puzzles, free rewards, honestly. And then the last one that's the most exciting is going to be some bosses. The Voyage is going to be a challenge mode, focus on boss battles. And then Utu is coming back as well for some more challenging content. So we are getting some end game content. If those of you who are wondering, right, what the end game is going to look like, they're adding it, right? So that's a really good thing that it's coming in CN. Not sure if it's going to be coming sooner in global, but it is going to be happening. Got some new skins for some characters. Those of you like skins, Homeboy got a I do not like saying his name, but Homeboy the hippie got a new skin. And then they brought back Centurion skin. So some really and regular skin as well. They were from the 1.1 update, so these will be new to global in 1.1. And so the next main part of this update, 37 and 6. All right, so they're both 6 stars. From what it seems like is 37. It was in the first part of the banner. First part of the banner, and she is dropping with Click, and her name escapes me. But then the second half of it is once this one ends, the second half of it is going to have 6. Right, so that's how these banners are looking to go. So the skill on 37 First skill is going to be a single type attack that does mental and Genesis damage. So if you watched my combat guide video, Genesis damage is going to be true damage. So 6 looks like she's going to be not 6. 37 looks like she's going to be a really nice character to do true damage. So in certain situations where enemies might be a little resistant to mental damage, she'll still have that Genesis damage to do true damage regardless of their resistances. Skill 2 is going to be an AoE mental attack that also has Genesis damage in it and is going to add sturdiness to herself. And then her ultimate, the Kingdom of Number and Geometry, it's going to be a group buff that adds perception of maths to all of her allies and increase attack. Then it adds Inspired to Self to increase Genesis damage. Where remember when I said there's not a lot of increases for Genesis damage? Well, she does that. Also increases her inspiration. On her first insight, after allied characters use a skill or perform an extra action, gain inspiration. When inspiration reaches a certain amount, consume an amount and release a supplementary formula, which is going to be an extra attack dealing large mental and Genesis damage to all enemies. This extra attack does not increase inspiration. On her second insight, increases her crit damage when she enters battle. And her third insight is going to increase crit rate when she enters battle. And all Genesis damage from the caster can crit. Character seems really strong. I am close to getting her, so I will try to use her on my CN account because honestly, her kit sounds a little wild. Getting the ability to crit with true damage and just the amount of damage she really has an extra attack seems pretty insane, honestly. So, but I'll be making a video on her because like she came right after Black Dwarf, which Black Dwarf is a mental character and she's really strong as well. So that's gonna be rough for a lot of people to have like a mental DPS at the end of 1.3 and then another at 1.4. And then you have 6, who is a 6-star intellect character, right? So there's not a lot of intellect characters. His kit's gonna be really interesting as well. So his first skill, Law and Restriction, is an AoE mental damage, randomly inflicts a number of effects in the set of debuffs pool on the targets for a number of rounds. If inspiration is lower than X amount, increases inspiration. So basically he's just going to be placing a random amount of debuffs. His S2 is going to be a single target buff, randomly purifies a number of debuffs on the ally, and then randomly gives a number of buffs in the buff pool to the target. When the inspiration reaches a certain number, consumes a number of stacks, and gives the target Empower Incantation for several turns. His ultimate, the Internal Revelation, single target mental damage. When inspiration reaches a certain amount for each debuff the target has, increase mental damage. And it has a limit, but you can basically amplify that by doing the skill 1, put a bunch of debuffs on them, probably have a team that's focused around doing debuffs, and then on his ultimate, just do a crap ton of damage on a single target, right? Not going to be probably the best for like the attack's obviously going to be better for like, boss situations, but at least his skill is AoE. His first insight, increase the range of inspiration after each turn. When an ally reaches a certain amount of buffs, increase inspiration. When the enemy has debuff statuses, increase damage dealt to the enemy. So it just does more damage to enemies that have debuffs and increases inspiration based off of the allies who have buffs. Second insight is damage increase upon getting to the stage. Insight 3, before casting ultimate, randomly inflicts a number of effects from the set of debuffs on the enemy for a number of rounds before each turn. Randomly give 1 buff from the set of buff pool to allies for a number of rounds. So there's going to be a character that's going to, before doing the ult, put debuffs on to automatically increase the damage. And then also just randomly buffs your allies. So seems like it's going to be a nice buffer slash debuffer. But it is going to be random. So a lot of people don't really like that. A lot of people like knowing exactly what's going to happen. So, it just depends on how many buffs is going to happen. We can see how the character is going to work, but he's just not quite out yet. All right. Now, the biggest change that they added to 1.4 that may or may not be coming sooner to global. The biggest change that they did was adding a wonderful feature for those of you who are a little lazy. Auto. Auto is in the game. You already have your fast forward. So for those of you who are maybe on the fence because you're like, bro, there's no auto, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to do this. Because the auto before was only from already completing the stage. But no, now there is just regular auto. I tried it out on stream last night when the 1.4 launched. It's here. Now it does its best, right? It does its best to select options. It'll heal you. It'll use the buffs when it needs to. It'll refresh. It'll try to build up moxie for the stronger character. It really does its best. But on the harder stages, it'll probably still be better to manual. But the auto is pretty good, especially if you're learning the game, you're not sure, or you're just trying to go through a few stages. Right? It'll do its best. Right? If nothing else, if your characters are leveled up and you have them at the appropriate levels, you can definitely get pretty far. So, I think it's great because it just brings that that many people back to the game, because a lot of people just don't like games that they have to think in. You know how it is for people with gotchas. So, great change. But guys, that's pretty much it for the 1.4 update. Again, the main things to take away from this is the free summons. We get 5-star selector, that we get crazy new characters coming out, and the auto that came this update. So hopefully you got something out of this video. Hopefully something helps you for those of you who are going to be playing on global. If it did, let me know by giving me a like on this video. Comment down below if you're excited for 37 or 6 or the free summons, the auto feature. Let me know down in the comment section. Also sub to the channel because I am constantly loading content about this game to my YouTube. So make sure you click the bell to know when I go live or when I'm uploading a new video. And yes, I will be playing the CN account when global launches. So we'll be doing 2 halves of the stream. But nothing else. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. You lucky gamers, have a good one. Lucky Lux out.